Today we have an insane plot leak for one of the most anticipated Disney Plus shows coming to the MCU for Phase 4, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. How's it going, everybody? It's Warren, and I know a lot of people are really excited for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series coming to Disney Plus. And if you are one of those people, this plot leak is going to get you even more excited. And if you're not that excited about it, perhaps this plot leak could get you excited about it. Because this plot leak does talk about the return of a certain Captain America played by a certain Chris Evans, along with other plot details such as the main villain and how exactly Sam and Bucky come together for the series. I'll be covering many exciting things in this plot leak, so be sure to stick around until the end. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm giving away an Xbox One or a PS4. The winner gets to decide. I'm picking a new winner at 550,000 subscribers. All you have to do to enter is subscribe, like the video, and comment below with your favorite superhero or villain. So, like with all plot leaks that we get, disclaimer, take it with a grain of salt. This is coming from 4chan and Reddit as well, but sounds very legitimate. And the way it picks up after Avengers Endgame makes perfect sense, and the way it ties in all of the previous existing characters in the MCU makes perfect sense as well. So let's dive right into it. The first part of this leak says, Thunderbolt Ross, William Hurt of course, and the government does not want Sam Wilson to be the new Captain America due to him not signing the Accords. Now, of course, this is referring to the Sokovia Accords that were in Captain America Civil War. And of course, as we know, Sam was siding with Captain America and did not sign the Accords. During Civil War, he was thrown in jail, and of course we know that at the end, Captain America broke him out. And from there on up until the events of Avengers Endgame, we know that Captain America, Sam, and Natasha were off doing their own secret missions. But of course, this whole entire time, they were wanted. This is why Thunderbolt Ross tells Rhodey to arrest them when they show up in Avengers Endgame. Now, considering the fact that Sam helped save the world, I'm sure he's not wanted anymore. But he was still a wanted fugitive that did not sign the Sokovia Accords. So it would make sense that the government would not want Sam Wilson, who was a fugitive, to be the new Captain America. The image of Captain America is supposed to be this clean-cut, good-behaved guy, and a fugitive is not that. So, what do? This leak says they enlist John Walker to be the new Captain America, who prefers to go by the name US Agent. Now, I reported this leak a very long time ago. Maybe around 5 to 6 months ago, there was talks about US Agent being in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And at the time, the rumors were saying that John Cena was in talks to play US Agent. However, sadly, there is no confirmation that John Cena will be playing US Agent. But since John Walker is announced the new Captain America, Sam is furious and he gets the help of Bucky Barnes to help him fight low-level crimes. Now, of course he's furious. At the end of Avengers Endgame, he had his big moment where Steve Rogers passed down the shield and the mantle of Captain America down to Sam. And in that moment, Sam became Captain America, which was obviously a very huge deal. His best friend and probably idol, Captain America, passed the mantle down to him, and now they're saying that he cannot be Captain America. Now, this sort of follows the storylines from the comics. However, in the comics, when the mantle of Captain America is supposed to be passed down to Sam, the government says no because they don't think America is ready for a black Captain America. Now, obviously, this is not the route they're going with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it does kind of follow a similar storyline where Sam is supposed to be Captain America, but the government says no. So, Sam gets mad and he gets the help of Bucky to help him fight low-level crimes. But, at the same time, Sharon Carter, who of course is played by Emily Van Camp, who of course we knew was going to be in the series, begs the government to replace Walker with Sam. But Sam and Bucky grow close with Walker, as Sam has accepted Walker as the new Captain America. So sadly, it seems like Sam is not going to be Captain America immediately going into the series. However, that may not last long because according to this leak, Walker gets a chip in his brain implanted by Baron Zemo, of course played by Daniel Bruhl, resulting in Walker going rogue. Now again, this kind of follows a similar story from the comics. When Walker becomes Captain America in the comics, he's not really like the old Captain America. He's kind of a radicalist and he can't be controlled. So by them putting a chip in his brain is kind of the same thing of having him not being able to be controlled and go rogue. But Zemo's plans don't just stop at being able to control US Agent / Captain America / John Walker. His plans are to put these chips into every single person in the entire population, and he gets the help of Rachel Layton to help him execute his plan. Now, for those of you who do not know who Rachel Layton is, she is primarily known by her name, Diamondback. And Diamondback has a direct connection to Crossbones, Taskmaster, Captain America, and the Serpent Society. Now, when Diamondback started off, she was originally in a gang led by a man known as Bing. Bing would later on become the character that everybody knows as Crossbones. Now, it has been said before anything was confirmed about Baron Zemo returning to the Falcon and Winter Soldier series that Crossbones could make an appearance as well. And Baron Zemo being in Falcon and the Winter Soldiers ended up being true, so Crossbones could make a return as well, even though he died in Captain America Civil War. But perhaps somebody else could have picked up the mantle. But Diamondback was one of the original members of the Serpent Society, and a lot of us fans have been expecting some kind of Captain America Serpent Society story for a pretty long time now, and it seems like we're going to get somewhat of that story in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, just with Sam as Captain America eventually. But the interesting thing about Diamondback is that in her first encounter with Captain America in the comics, she instantly falls in love with him. So if Sam is going to be the new Captain America, perhaps she could fall in love with Sam. And it is worth noting that Captain America does eventually fall in love with her as well, and Diamondback eventually turns her back on the Serpent Society. So Baron Zemo wants to implant these chips in all of the population, and he gets the help of Diamondback to do so. Thunderbolt Ross and the government are now desperate, so what do? They hire Sam and Bucky to go and stop Walker. Alfre Woodard as Miriam Shape and Martin Freeman as Everett Ross return in major roles, which makes perfect sense because Martin Freeman as Everett Ross is said to return for Black Panther 2 as well. And here's really the big news that everybody has been waiting for. This leak says that Chris Evans as old Steve Rogers will appear in 2 episodes, possibly to give moral advice to Sam and Bucky. Now, this is something that everybody wants to see, and it's something that makes perfect sense. Now, we know there's somewhat of a debate between the writers and the directors of Avengers Endgame on whether or not Captain America exists in the main MCU timeline or not. But at the end of Avengers Endgame, Old Man Steve Rogers was in the main MCU timeline. So whether or not he was in that timeline the whole time or just traveled to that timeline, we can assume that he could stick around for a little bit. And his fate was not the same as Tony Stark's. He didn't die. He's simply old, but Captain America is one to give advice, especially to his friends. And it would make sense that Sam and Bucky get in a little bit over their heads in this. It would really be their first time without Captain America there to call the shots. They are now in control. So maybe even it's the two of them that seek out the guidance from Old Man Steve Rogers. And let's remember that Marvel is, to an extent, about pleasing their fans. They don't write stories and movies specifically to please fans. But a cameo from Chris Evans as Old Man Captain America in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series is something that everybody would absolutely love and something that Marvel could do. It would definitely have a good impact. And it wouldn't offset anything he did in Avengers Endgame. This would not be like bringing Tony Stark back. If you bring Tony Stark back, you take away his sacrifice. But Steve Rogers simply retired, and him coming back to give advice to his 2 old best friends doesn't take away anything from that. So according to this leak, it seems like we could see Captain America in 2 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. And then the leak ends by saying Yelena Belova and Emil Blonsky are expected to cameo sometime in the series. And this makes perfect sense because it would tie the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series into the Black Widow movie that is coming up. And it's widely believed that Yelena Belova is going to be the new Black Widow moving forward in the MCU. So it would make sense that they would connect the series to the movie. Plus, not to mention we know that Taskmaster is going to be the villain of Black Widow. And Diamondback was trained at one of Taskmaster's academies. So this would link Falcon and the Winter Soldier series to Black Widow in a couple of different ways. And of course, that's what Marvel loves to do. It's the MCU, it's all interconnected. So if this plot leak ends up being true, we're looking at one heck of a series. Many characters would be returning such as Sharon Carter, Thunderbolt Ross, Baron Zemo, Miriam Shape, Everett Ross, and Captain America. Old Man Captain America Steve Rogers, but still Captain America. So this could turn out to be an incredible show. But let me know what you think about this plot leak. Is this something you would like to see in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series on Disney+? And would you be excited to see Steve Rogers return as Old Man Captain America in this series? Let me know all your thoughts about this in the comments down below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can have a chance to win an Xbox One or a PS4. Again, all you have to do to enter is be subscribed, like the video, and comment with your favorite superhero or villain. I'm also starting a giveaway on Twitter and Instagram soon, so be sure to follow me on there. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.